Hey guys, did you know that I have a Patreon where you can support me and plus get awesome rewards? Or if you're thinking to yourself, but Julian, I want even more bang for my buck while still supporting you, you can pop over to my Redbubble and check out my awesome store with new designs appearing regularly. But for now, enjoy the video you're about to watch. Hello, 'tis I, Julian Greystoke. Today I am wearing my Fight Like a Girl shirt, which I designed. If you want to check out a whole ton of my designs, I've got a Redbubble, link below. Check it out. Today we're doing a book review that has nothing to do with my shirt. It is for a book called Entwined, which is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses story, which is a story that I have a mild obsession with finding a good version of, and spoilers, I may have found my definitive version. But let's just talk about it and see why it hit home, where it worked, and where it didn't. First things first, there are a lot of sisters and the author resisted the urge to give them all a point of view. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I think there's only one point of view in this book and I love it. And that is of one of the sisters. I think she's like the second eldest or maybe the eldest. And I'm so happy not to have to be fighting my way through so many points of view. And you know what? Even though it could have been that with so many points of view, it wasn't and it worked. And I'm so happy. My quest for proving that books can be good without multiple points of view. Thank you, Entwined. Thank you. But what is this book about? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to do that and I get right into my notes. What is this book about? This book is about, I believe, 12 princesses who all love to dance, and dancing is forbidden in their kingdom because their mother has just died, and during the mourning period, they are not supposed to dance. But there's like a little bit of magic still lingering in their world, and they find their way to it, to this magical party garden where this guy who is not dissimilar to Jareth, the Goblin King, introduces them to cool new places to dance where they can do so without being caught. And it just kind of is them dealing with this magical king who seems like he might be good, but then maybe he's not. Maybe he's nefarious, and there's a reason that he's trapped, like, behind a fireplace in a magical garden. This story is so much deeper than the original Dancing Princesses story. There are, of course, romantic interests for many of the princesses who are old enough to have romantic interests, and it's just mwah. Anyway, back to my actual review of it. The author did something else very clever. They understood that with so many princesses we were going to lose track, and so she made their names alphabetical, which really helps you to figure out where she is in the ages. And if you can figure out where she is in the ages, you have a lot better chance of like understanding her. And I think that was a really clever and really smart thing that the author did. I don't know, maybe that was in the original story. I don't think it was, but maybe it was. But either way, that really, really helped. Being able to be like, oh, this is the sister with a C name, so she's the third eldest. Very helpful, and I liked it. I will say that the magic in this story is kind of shallow. It just kind of exists, and we're not really given like any rules or any explanation, which I prefer a little bit more explanation of my magic. I'm not one of those people who needs like huge in-depth rules for my magic, but I do like to understand it a little bit more than this book gave me. There was some stuff that came up later in the book to kind of help me understand, but ultimately it was a little bit disappointing. I loved the girls' relationship with their father and the way it progresses through this story. The father and daughter's relationship is the most important relationship in the story, not the romantic interests, and I think that is so great, and it really made this book exceptional. I will say that this story is slow, so if you're looking for action scenes and a lot of swashbuckling and stuff like that, don't come to this book. But I mean, look at the story that it is based on. It's not an adventure story, it's a story about dancing princesses. So I was prepared for it to be slow, and I didn't mind that it was. One of the romantic interests for one of the sisters, Lord Teddy, is a precious being, and I will marry him myself if she doesn't want him. Oh my goodness, I love him so much. And that brings me to the fact that all of the romantic interests are likable and interesting and have their own personalities, and the author did a really good job of this without having them fill up too much screen time. They really demonstrate who they are through their actions, and I loved how complex they got to be without taking up too much of this book or taking away from the relationship of the sisters and their relationship with their father. But yes, Lord Teddy, best one. I adore him so frickin' much. The bad guy is equally interesting, and while he's not as deep as he could be, he is a lot better than the just evil bad guys that I've been reading recently. The climax of this book did get fast-paced and intense. There's a lot more action. It was very satisfying. However, I did feel like it maybe went on a little bit too long. Like the climax, I don't know, I like a snappy climax, and this climax just kind of kept on going, and I was like, well, okay, I'm enjoying this, but maybe we could have like edited this down a little bit. But overall, I really love this adaptation, and I do think that Entwined is my new go-to for retellings of the 12 Dancing Princesses. So if you like that story and you have been seeking like your definitive version, please check out Entwined. It was very enjoyable. A little bit slow at times, but really worth it for the payoff, really worth it for the father-daughter relationship. Mwah, so good. And Lord Teddy forever. If he could marry me, that would be great. But have any of you also read Entwined? What did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. If you liked this review, I have a ton more on my channel. I have a lot of content for you to check out, so feel free to wander at your leisure. And I post brand new videos Mondays and Fridays, so check those out. And if you want special exclusive content from me, not to be seen by anyone else, you can go over to my Patreon. Any amount of support will get you access to exclusive content, and all of your donations go towards getting me better equipment, so it's like a win-win. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!
Hey everyone, it is shout out time. Time to shout out to my patrons, Amanda, Ashley, Kim, Lisa, Ramona, Sabby Panda, and Sarah. If you want to be great like these amazing people, then become my patron over on Patreon.